So let's just talk a little bit how their brain is brainwashed, how their brain, if we can't talk about the security side, you are an expert on, let's say it in de-radicalizing that brain, ideally, and we want to know now, how do we deal with de-radicalization? How do we address that?
It has to be before we talk about de-radicalization. If we're talking only about de-radicalization, it's too late. We need to come back to the basics. How is religion in our mosques, in our schools, in our homes talked about? Do we see the sheikh or the imam, whether it's a man or a woman, as a person that I trust, as a person that helps me, as a person that lifts me, as a person that's like my spiritual father or my spiritual mother? Or do we see them as a very small-minded, limited person? So it goes back to just the basics of how Islam is taught, and the way that we teach Islam the proper way, as I was saying earlier, is to show a very plural Islam, a very accepting Islam, a very loving Islam, an Islam that holds the values and the respect of each individual person, whether they believe or not believe. The Quran tells us, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, we have honored the human being, irrespective of what they believe. So we have to start there before we start to consider de-radicalization, because if we only work on the de-rad side, then it's too late.
Our Islamic community in Kosovo claims is doing that, claims is trying to promote and address these issues in communities. Have you been in touch with the Islamic community in Kosovo?
I have, this is my first visit, so of course it's limited, but let me tell you from the first impression, I have been very impressed. I've not only been impressed by Kosovo as a country, Kosovars as a people, but specifically to your question, the Muslim community is very resilient, and they're doing an amazing job, and I think you're in safe hands.
Safe hands, yes, but they are doing an amazing job in response, not in detecting themselves, in response to preventing more violent extremists. We were seen as, per capita, the country with per capita most Muslims sent to ISIS in Syria. From Europe. This is a European Muslim country. So we are still battling with what we did wrong as a society, not just Islamic community.
I can't speak about the specific Kosovo experience in the past, but what I can say, one of the issues is online radicalization. So we're doing a lot of good work, not just in Kosovo and elsewhere on the ground, but we need to be much more active online, because a lot of the radicalization, to be honest, and the recruitment happens online.
How did you treat the recruitment online in Jordan? For example, did you have programs to address only online recruitment?
Yeah, we have more and more. I mean, we're slow. Of course, we should have been doing what we're doing, 10 years ago. But now, because of AI, we actually are thinking about AI and trying to get ahead of the curve, rather than address the problem of yesterday. We're trying to solve the problem that could happen tomorrow. So we're leveraging a lot of the AI tools. We have a lot of online assets that we have. We're trying to put them together in some sort of AI, LLM that will help. So the answer is yes, but we're still trying to figure out what's the right way to do it.
You live in Washington. The world sees that America has become more intolerant to other people, the one you've just spoken about allowing in Quran. We looked up to America as a tolerant country, the most democratic. I mean, how do you feel now from Princeton teaching other countries about having to be tolerant to other religions?
Well, maybe you idolized America as being tolerant because you bought American propaganda, but as somebody that was born and raised and lived his whole life in the United States, I mean, I've always known that the United States is very intolerant and very racist. Has a very big problem with racism. I myself, I live in a liberal area, but I've had my share of having to be dealt with in a racist fashion. So what I see as an American, what I see is that our dirty laundry has just been aired, but I know that this has always been part of, unfortunately, American society. Not all of American society, but it's definitely a problem that we've been dealing with since the end of the Civil War. So for quite some time. So I'm not surprised.